Let's get down to business now. And does Kenya have a revenue problem or an expenditure problem? This is one question that Kenyans are asking prior to the budget reading on Thursday in what will go down in history as the country's biggest budget ever, standing at a staggering 4.23 trillion shillings. Why does the Kenyan budget keep on rising year after year or year in, year out, with Kenyans complaining of not feeling the effect of the ballooning forecast? Here's why.
For many, taxes are a significant part of their financial obligations. Yet, there is a growing perception that these contributions don't translate to tangible benefits. Government budgets are intricate, and without clear communication, citizens may struggle to see how their taxes are being utilized, as former Parliamentary Budget Committee Chair and Kiharu Member of Parliament Ndindi Nyoro tries to explain.
So if you look at all those issues, Elena, you realize that when it comes to the plate, this budget is not sufficiently addressing that policy issue. Because when you increase the cost of production in agricultural sector, you are basically you are basically sabotaging your own policy. We have sung the song of pending bills. It has now become a chorus. There is no money allocated for pending bills. So those are some of the issues that I see, as you correctly put it. The people of Kenya, in all their shades and scope, ought to have been more sufficiently incorporated in the budgeting.
Further, Kenya's public finances have been under scrutiny, with debate intensifying over the nation's fiscal challenges. While some argue that low revenue collection is the root cause, others paint to unsustainable spending patterns. KPMG's James Kimani expands on this.
Having a tax to GDP ratio of about 12% is a fantastic ratio. What I know the idea is we need to move this on to about 15%. So we are not doing badly off from a revenue perspective. The challenge comes in from an expenditure perspective.
However, according to Ndindi Nyoro, the problem is not about expenditure or revenue. It's an economic problem as a whole. In a significant shift to Kenya's economic strategy, the government is moving forward with plans to divest from key state-owned enterprises, including telecommunications giant Safaricom and the Kenya Pipeline Corporation KPC. The sales are viewed as a means to reduce public debt and stimulate economic growth.
Remember, if an entity then is owned by the government, it means that the government sort of have to incur some cost in assisting that entity to operate. But the government is already struggling with revenue, and of course coupled by the fact that our expenditure is very high. So what government is trying to do is sort of to offload some of these things that are making it, spend unnecessarily.
Kenya's mounting public debt continues to become a pressing concern, with the country now ranking 4th globally in debt burden. As of March 2025, Kenya's total public debt stood at 11.02 trillion shillings, approximately 65.7% of its GDP.
There should be sincerity in wanting growth in our economy. Growth in an economy happens if you incentivize private enterprise to thrive. Now we have an economy where is either public sector or patronage. We need to let private enterprise thrive, because there is no government that does any business a favor by giving them a conducive environment. It is the business that does an economy a favor by establishing their base in our economy.
We have, and I don't know whether it's a third world problem, is that we always want to be seen like we are growing, even when we are struggling. Nothing prevents us from doing a budget of 2.7. With the revenue that we are able to lay.
In the 2025-2026 budget, the government is proposing to spend 1.1 trillion shillings to pay interests alone. Nina Shaban, NTV.